Hello everybody, Sergeant Soldier here, and we're back with How to Rust, and today I have a really cool design that utilizes the same mechanics that we used in our very last Biter Snap House, where we put the actual snap traps on top of shelves and embedded them into the floors above. We're going to use that very same principle suggested by Feezy, which is F-E-E-Z-Y-Y. Sorry if I mispronounced that. He had suggested to do this base, and I put it together, and honestly, I really like it. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to show you the base itself. I'm going to go through how we did it, and then I got one more thing to show you at the end. So starting off, it's basically a 2x2 with the roof on top. Pretty easy, right? It's pretty small, inconspicuous. Most people might just pass this by thinking, oh, it's just a 2x2, a noob's in there, no big deal, right? So we go inside, in here, through here, through here. 2 chests, a furnace, and a campfire, right? It's pretty small, but it's enough space for you to put all your stuff in, right? Well, this wouldn't really be the design then. How does this incorporate the Biter snap traps where you place it on top of the shelves? All we gotta do is look up. Check that out. Working furnaces, a tool cupboard that you can authorize and deauthorize and clear, chests, all the chests, and everything else sticking very, very carefully through the floor. Now, yes, should someone destroy the floor, it destroys everything that the floor is basically keeping up. So, pretty much all the chests and the furnaces. However, this tool cupboard here, because it is embedded into the wall, it'll actually stay stuck to the wall if the floor is removed, which is pretty cool. So what we're going to do is we're going to fly out of here. I'll go up here to show you what the inside. See, it's all inside the roof here. I'm going to fly out of here, and we're going to go and show you how it was put together, which is right over here. Pretty simple. Basically, all you have to do is you have to place the airlock into the base first, because you're going to have to build around the airlock. Now what I did is I put 2 shelving units in front of the airlock and the foundation on the other side of the single door, and then I put more shelving units, I believe there's 4 of them there, in the other corner, as well as partway into the 3rd square. I know I'm not explaining it very well, but this is basically what it looks like here. And in placing the tool cupboard down, I made sure that the corner of the tool cupboard is just barely going over the wall. That is very, very important. For one, you need it to be in the center of the roof so that it doesn't poke through, but for 2, it actually has this really cool side feature that should you decide that you want to have friends come over and live in your base, they can actually access the tool cupboard from here. Check it out. Come on. Work. 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 Come on, you. There it is. See? You can authorize and deauthorize on it, if it'll cooperate with you. Good luck. There we go. Alright. So, pretty cool, right? So from this point, how do we make it work? Very simple. Now, once you have everything set up here, and the way that I did it is I did the tool cupboard in the center, and then I placed 4 furnaces next to the tool cupboard, and then chests all the way around. You might notice in this build, there's actually small chests squeezed into here. You can do it, but you need to be very careful about the placement, because the small chest will poke through the roof, and that'll give it away. So you don't want to do that. Also, these small chests on this side, if they're too close to the roof, the code lock will actually go through the front of it and have the light be shining through the roof, and that doesn't really help you out any either. So, from this point, we have everything placed. You go ahead and you want to add code locks to all of this. That way, if for whatever reason somebody decides they want to come and raid you, they can't just open up your chest and take your stuff. They're going to have to, actually get up there and take it. So from here, all you got to do is run around and just add the floors in. It'll go right through the chests and all that stuff. No problem whatsoever. See if I can get this one. Yeah. Alright, now, from here, now this is the way that I did it. Take a roof, and you start in the back. Upgrade. Do the roof that's directly above the door and your airlock. And then jump down. Foundation and stair. Sometimes you have to put a floor out here. Sometimes you don't have to. It just depends on the angle that you're trying to get and if you're really, really lucky. Let me see if I'm going to be able to get... Oh, there we go. Good enough. And I'm on a stone. There we go. Alright. Now we remove all this. And the house is sealed up, right? We're done. No, we're not done. Because we have to go back and we remove all those shelves. It's close. So, basically, from this point, you just get to chopping. So, I'm going to chop all these down, and we'll be right back. Alright, all the shelving units are broken now, and as you see, just like with the snap traps, all this floats. And it's fully accessible from the bottom. So, now this is one thing that I've done in this one that you can change if you want, and you don't want the tool cover to be accessible from the airlock. You can back it up and sacrifice one of the furnaces, and then that way there's nothing in this room here that will allow them to basically get build permission. Also, instead of doing a large chest here, you can do another small one, so that when you go ahead and put this wall up, oops, there's absolutely nothing in here for them to loot, or to give it away that there could potentially be something in the roof. See, all this over here? So that's up to you guys how you want to tweak it. It's basically just the idea that you could do this. And the really cool thing is, once these floors are up, it's actually holding everything in. So you could continue to add things or build things, like, for example, we'll do a couple chests, and a furnace, and maybe a campfire. You can continue to build things even after the shelves are removed, and it's not going to break anything that's up there. It's all still going to be there. See, just like that. See, it's all still there. So, now you're probably wondering, Sergeant Solge, what happens when someone decides to raid this? Well, I may have built a third version of this, and I may have filled all the chests with stone, because stone is pretty easy to see when it falls down. So we're going to do a couple things here. First, we're going to blow up the roof. Just in case, why not? Let's actually do it from the backside. We'll blow up the backside roof. So 2C4 down, and we'll see what happens to all the chests inside. Now, we all know what's going to happen. Nothing's going to happen. They'll be visible, you can see them, but they're not going to break. See, look, there they all are. All of our chests. Yep. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to blow that wall there. Not expecting anything to happen, because it didn't happen when the roof broke. Alright. I didn't put the wall in here. Whoops. Let's fix that. Alright, now, the one thing you guys are all probably wondering, what's going to happen when I break the floor. So, without further ado, let's see, we don't want to throw it, actually, you know what, let's throw it on the bottom side of this chest here, see what happens. I kind of want to know, actually. Now, it shouldn't blow the floor up, right? If I can select the floor, look at that, it didn't even touch the floor. Very interesting. Now what happened to all the stone? All the stone is up here. So, unless they actually blow the floor itself, they can't actually access anything. Which means that should they decide to break these chests because you have code locks on them, all the stuff's going to be above the floor. Which is very cool that you can actually throw C4 in a chest and have it break the chest but not the floor above. I like that. So anyway, that's pretty much it for this build. It takes what we knew would happen with Biter's Snap House when we put the snap traps on top of the shelves, and we actually made it into a base. So real quick, I want to thank Feezy, F-E-E-Z-Y-Y, for the suggestion, and I'm really sorry I didn't get this out a week ago when it was suggested, but I had computer problems and I couldn't get my computer to work. So we're at least putting it out now. I hope you guys like this build, and we'll see you in the next How to Rust video. Bye-bye! Thank you for watching How to Rust, a series for new players to the game of Rust. If you have any ideas for future episodes that could be useful to new players, please feel free to leave a comment in the comments section of this video.